This is Michaela McLean, and you're listening to Beauty by Design. Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. It's time to talk about our next gate 3. But before we do, I have something really exciting to tell you about my Golden Experience Guide course. My masterclass called Your Energetic Marketing Guide is now officially live for sale at goldenexperienceguide.com. Um, I'm so excited to have this out, especially for everyone in the aesthetics industry, because this is covering so many cool things, from including all of the aura type classes, an exfoliation meditation before we even get started, a yoga nidra at the end that integrates everything, the marketing strategies for each aura type and profile, basically how to use human design to create your own lane and, you know yourself, strengthen your signal, really fortify your aura and call in all of your golden clients. Um, yeah, help you let go of comparison, so many cool things. It's apparently, according to Ashley, there are 32 modules. Go at your own pace lessons. And then of course the meditation and the nidra, it's like that's something that you can use for yourself, but also take into your treatment room. The price to begin for the first 2 weeks is $3.99, and as of May 1st, that's going up to $5.99. And Ashley's gonna add in a module that goes through like how human design in the last couple of years of us being friends and working together, what that's done for her business wise, because this is definitely geared toward like aesthetic businesses, but it is personal growth, and the personal leads to professional, right? It change Working on yourself helps with your business, then you eventually, helps you with your patients and clients. So it's such a cool like trickle down effect. And so many cool things happening around this, like stuff I don't even want to really kind of say too much about yet, but different projects with different people, how this is kind of just unfolding. So yeah, we gave away a course today. This is Saturday. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I just can't wait to hear feedback from people because, it really is taking this so much deeper. So the other cool thing is like there's an episode guide, there's keyword guides, there's worksheets, there's quizzes, there's so much content here. And my joke is like it's still just scratching the surface in the overall grand scheme of like human design, it just continues to go so deep. But the cool thing is that this is going to help people like work through all of this on their own. Like the podcast will make so much sense. Um, it's just so exciting to me. I'm like, after podcasting now for now over a year, it's like building this library of material, is so cool and exciting to me. Like that's been a goal. I'm a generator. It's a goal of mine, right? All these resources. So anyway, if that's something that interests you, goldenexperienceguide.com. Again, highly recommend getting on that right away. People that get in at the intro price, they will automatic, you get lifetime access. And then of course you get all the updates included. There'll be office hours with me periodically. And if you're even interested in just kind of like want to know more, come join us at Golden Hour on April 30th. Again, go to goldenexperienceguide.com, sign up. I'll be there. That one in particular is going to be me answering questions and all kinds of cool stuff about my course. So it's a great community to belong to. So please come join us. It's free, no obligation of anything. You just kind of get to meet some cool people and come into the fold. So that's the biggie. That's the big news. Well, that's one of them. And then also really excited to announce because it's like official now. I have joined Little Fox, my favorite skincare brand. I am now on board as a support person, master auric esthetician. And so it's cool because I have a very clinical medical background and I get to bring that to just kind of do some support things behind the scenes for them. So I'm always talking about them anyway. Love Alexis, love that brand. And I'm just excited. So, again, expect to hear more. Of course, we've got my free guide. You can sign up for my email list and get on that. My $11 or type master classes. Tinkering around with one-on-one stuff right now. Really kind of limiting availability because I've got some, like I said, courses and different things happening in the works in the background, and also innovating. We're moving to gate 3. This is about innovation, and I'm innovating with some people behind the scenes of ways to, yeah, as I'm always saying, like, be the magic fairy dust in other people's sort of treatment rooms and in their processes. So hold tight. Of course, clear skin yoga nidra, all the things you might want to find from me, like I said, as I'm building my library of resources, it's all there. So Instagram at Michaela McLean. You can find all the links in bio, of course. My website, michaelamclean.com. You can get it all. So let's just move along, right? And get into the episode. As always, my little disclaimer, don't worry about understanding this at the mental level. Just let the sound current, let my voice just sink into your cells like good skincare. Like Bob Ross was your esthetician. Okay, so this week we're moving from Aries into Taurus. We're already at the end of Aries season, and so that's cool. Like this gate 3, is what I call a bridge gate, right? It begins in one sign and then fully matures in the next. Um, this is located in the sacral center and it's part of individual knowing circuitry. So people with individual circuitry have a deep inner knowing, it's like they're here to be true to themselves. It leads to mutation, this energy. Anything in the individual circuitry leads to mutation, evolution, and positive change in the world. So, starting with the center, the sacral itself is the major motor center of the body graph, responsible for generating sustainable life force energy that powers up the whole world. It's the center for creation and vitality, and the sacral's energy is available to respond to the correct, give a little air quotes, the correct things. Like, what's it lit up by, basically? And that's what's correct for it. So, gate 3 is known as difficulty at the beginning. It's the gate of ordering. And the keynote from the Red Book is brings order to the mutative pulse frequency. So, 3 is basically about bringing new things into the world, kind of going from nothing to something, just basically getting off to a bumpy, chaotic start, but through perseverance, it has the ability to usher in positive change and evolution. So the low expression here, it's just like its electromagnetic partner. So as in like its channel partner, which is gate 60. We will be getting to that here in shortly. It can be prone to melancholy. All individual circuitry is prone to melancholy, FYI. So it's like it gets melancholic when it's waiting for the next like new thing to arrive. It could be frustrated at limitation, frustrated at the old way of doing things, overly eager for change for the sake of change. Which can be and feel very destabilizing to the people around them. Could also show up as wanting to be overly controlling or fearful that life is just total chaos and nothing makes any sense. So the high expression, this actually benefits from a little bit of structure, but it's newness, innovation through play, lightness, and the recognition that control is an illusion. Change is the only constant. We know that, but it's hard. And it's learning to get comfortable with the fact that we are constantly evolving, but it just can't be forced. It's just like an evolutionary process. We're not the same person we were even just, 5 minutes ago. Everything is forever in flux, mutating, rearranging, reorganizing, all of it. We don't necessarily see the work of the universe going on behind the scenes, but we can choose, like think of this, we're going to get to the end. It's like the mind. We can choose to trust that we are held. That phrase, divine timing, it exists for a reason. With the energy of this gate, patience is a virtue. And, there's also a level of patience needed here to realize that the organization of chaos is a process. This is a generated energy, generated slow and steady. It happens over time, it unfolds. So, in the gene keys, the shadow of this is, of course, chaos. The gift is innovation, and the city is innocence. So, in the gene keys, Richard Rudd kind of, talks about trusting in and embracing the chaos, relinquishing the control and allowing for that magical mutation to take place. And in the 64 ways, he says, the essence of the evolutionary impulse is this. In order to survive, life must embrace change. It must adapt and innovate. Everything in the universe is spinning. All the spheres, all the stars, every photon, every cell, every atom, they all have a whirlpool at their core. Life breathes change into its lungs and exhales innovation. This is a beautiful subject to contemplate. Think about nature. There's this truth we've all heard that nature abhors a vacuum, and yet this is the origin of innovation. He says, out in my garden, if I cut down a small bush, then immediately something else starts growing there. Something adapts itself and springs into that place. It's a miracle. Life constantly needs to expand, experiment, and then maybe make a breakthrough or not. Think of all the innovations that fail. The very nature of innovation is to keep failing until there's success. Hence the passing through chaos phase. The first thing about this third gift is that we have to be okay with chaos. We can't be freaked out by chaos. If we don't embrace chaos, then we'll have a very difficult life. It's why this gene key has a lot to do with the inner child and with children, because children embrace chaos so effortlessly. We adults, we all have children inside us somewhere. The secret of innovation is coherence. We have to create a pocket of coherence in the chaos. When we do that, we bring order to the chaos. And the more coherence we create, the more organized the cosmos become. The order actually exists already within the chaos, just as the city exists inside the shadow or the oak within the acorn. It's all just unfolded, and innovation is the unfolding mechanism. It looks random, but isn't. It all follows a pattern and a timing. How do we apply this in our life? How can we create this coherence around us? One of the best ways is to get in touch with the ideal inside us. The ideal is where we're heading. So kind of funny little thing too, how he says like keep failing. So again, if you know anything about profile or the line numbers, the decimal places, of course, go deep into this in my new Golden Experience Guide course. Shameless plug. But the third line is all about basically failing forward. It's like making air quotes mistakes, right? You're always like experimenting, adapting, trying to figure things out, through actually doing it and seeing what works, what doesn't work. So it's like, isn't that funny? It's like the third gate and the third line. There's a little similarity there. There's a little something to that. So anyway, my notes. This is part of a generated channel. Generator rules apply. So when operating correctly, this energy is acting in response. It's about being in response to the right things. Yes, no, either or. Sacral is very simple, It just knows what's in front of it and does it expand or contract to that. And in this case, in gate three's case, it's responding to things that are transformative. So this channel that it belongs to, it's like there's three channels. They're all format energy in the body graph. They're the ones that connect the root to the sacral. Those three that go directly up. And, so there's three of them. One, which we're talking about today, is individual. Then there's a collective logic one and a collective abstract one. So these three channels, they basically color or flavor every other gate and channel in their circuit. So this right here is like seed energy for the individual circuitry. It's like the root flowing through all of it. Like whereas the collective logic is like sit still, study, perfect until you have time to respond, that's just something that moves you forward. The collective abstract is like jumping into things through response, for the experience and then reflecting on it, like what happened in the past, making sense of it. And then this one, the individual knowing, it's mutation that pulses on and off, and it's responding in the present moment, in the now. So, it's like it's deep, it's in your bones, knowing that's there one moment, gone the next. There's no forcing it. And that's part of the thing. It's like that's part of where that melancholy can stem from. It's like, oh my God, I have only individual circuitry. I have one channel. And it's like, the shower thoughts, you're like, okay, I'm gonna remember that. And then the next thing you're like, what? Where did it go? It just like disappeared, like, missed through your fingers. Um, so, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't make it happen. It comes when it's gonna come. It's crazy. If you're individual circuitry, I'm like, you know what I'm talking about. But format energy, sorry to back up to this, it's like those three channels have so much power and they're so deeply impactful on anybody that they're around. So if you have one of those, um, potent stuff, because again, it flavors everything that comes along in that circuitry. So if you have the full channel, the three connecting to the 60, you would either be a generator or manifesting generator, depending on what else is going on in your chart. No other type can have this full channel. So definitely have to be a sacral being. Okay, so the programming partner, meaning the sun is in gate 3, the earth is automatically opposite in gate 50. That could either be Libra or Scorpio, again, another bridge gate. And it's known as the cauldron, the gate of values. The keynote with this one is the fear of responsibility. It's like the awareness to be responsible for the preservation of others or not, fear of taking on responsibility or taking on too much responsibility due to fear. So it's also known as the guardian. It's here to nurture and guide others with integrity. And the fear with it, it stems from taking on too much responsibility for others. Again, kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy because you knew in the first place you weren't equipped to handle it. But it's like, but I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to take on and do too much, even though I knew I shouldn't have done that. People with gate 50, they're meant to recognize that they're here to act as like an elder of their group, demonstrate and uphold important values. They're the ones out in the streets, establishing what's good, bad, right, wrong, creating the moral conditioning of society. So it's very much about embodying the biggest, brightest version of yourself, that wise big sister, big brother kind of vibe. It helps ensure the success and survival of future generations. So this is somebody who's meant to be an authority or a role model, especially in the tribe. It's a tribal energy. And it's part of the defense circuitry. When it goes sub circuitry, it's like, it's helping take care of the babies that have been, or the children or the whatever that's been created. It's nurturing and keeping it safe by instilling the correct values. And in the I Ching, the cauldron, which is what this is named after, is the communal cooking pot where you come to receive nourishment, to be recharged by those who pour into your cup. And then the gate that completes the channel is also a bridge gate. And this is gate 60. So this one spans Capricorn and Aquarius, forming the channel of mutation. And this one is that channel is a design of energy which initiates and fluctuates. It's a pulsing on and off. Again, it's individual. Coming from the root. All right. So gate 60 is known as limitation. It's the gate of acceptance. And it's the pressure to mutate, to transcend limitation. And this energy is all about the pressure to push past limitations. It's where all the possibility for evolution and change stems from. The low expression of gate 60 is wanting to steamroll your way forward without waiting for the right moment to arrive on its own. It's a restlessness that can lead to melancholy. You want change so bad, but aren't willing to wait for divine timing. Conversely, you could give up before you ever begin, deterred by life's inevitable roadblocks. It can be deeply frustrating. Again, there's generator keyword. I mentioned that in the gate 3 and now again in the 60. So that frustration, right? It's the gate of the old rules, old regulations, limitations, things that feel like they're holding us back. The high expression is, again, patience, trust, a deep inner knowing that you'll be an unstoppable force when the time to act finally arrives. In that presence, like being here in the moment, ready to respond to what comes next. It's like a seed sprouting underneath the ground. You have to wait for the right timing and conditions before it breaks through. Again, I always say with this one, I see it as the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So, again, this is a format channel, so it is very powerful impact on everybody around it. So 60 is that powerful adrenalized pressure of the root, that root pulse coming up to connect with the huge power of the sacral of gate 3. And it's meant to be used in response to really create mutation, change, and evolution in the world. That's two major motors coming together to act like an absolute powerhouse. And of course it's like sacral, it's gonna make noise like like pay attention if you have this channel, like do you make noises in response to things? So as long as these people are responding, these people with the channel mutation, they're responding, they can trust that they're acting correctly. If that's like that sacral is like expansive, it's a yes, contractive, it's a no. And then not getting in your mind and letting your mind interfere, right? Really, what did my body, was like, what did it say? How did it feel? So when the two come together to form that channel of mutation, it's about being a literal innovative force for changing the world, almost like this infinite loop of being the seed and then the flower blooming, the chaos and the darkness and the feeling lost in the void. And then all of a sudden, boom, I come out and I find the light and there's order once again, and things make sense until they don't. And that's individual circuitry for you, right? It's unpredictable, pulses on and off. You're not in control of it. And again, I have a friend with this. I mentioned this in the Gate 60 episode who has this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I see it in this person like hardcore, you know. Again, once it's individual, so it's highly creative, highly mutative, evolutionary, but it's prone to melancholy. And so, fun fact, this is Miss Dolly Parton's one and only channel. She's a generator, sacral generator, and this is all she's got. So astrologically, this is because we've got two bridge gates essentially. So this could be any sort of like form of different things. It's either Aries or Taurus for the gate 3, depending on where it's at, connecting with Capricorn or Aquarius. So this could be challenge, depending on what we've got active. It's like this could be, friction from a square, helpful sextiles, flowing trines between, the combination of where the planets are actually like located. So anyway. But it's funny because like with gate 60 is like it's Capricorn or Aquarius. They're both Saturn ruled signs, and Capricorn is like the rule maker and Aquarius is the rule breaker. So very much that old versus the new coming through with the gate 60. And then with gate 3, Aries is like the fire starter, the big bang that's just like it to me, it's like it's the chaos. And Taurus is like, okay, we're gonna bring it down to earth. We're gonna make it very, like grounded and material. And again, I say where it's fully matures, it's like then it gets more stable, right? Obviously, you'd be like, it moves into like line 6. I'm getting really technical here, but anyway, we'll just wrap this up. I don't have any part of this channel, so like I'm just riffing on things. So the quarter of the wheel, it's the first quarter that gate 3 is happening in. Initiation, it's the mind. And you think about that, it's like again, just Okay, I'm just going to innovate. I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna get too in my mind and let the chaos kind of consume me. So, do you have this gate in your chart? If you have it defined, it's gonna be looked at. Sacral is the second box up from the bottom, and it is on the bottom of the sacral, right in the middle. So it'll be a 3. If it's black or red and black, that means you have it defined. You have it somewhere in your chart. If it's white, like mine, you don't have it. Look to the other side. You have the 60. Maybe you're going to get the full channel. You'll have the channel partner. That's right, obviously, right below it. So again, you may not have any of it. Like I said, I don't have any of it, but we're going to all experience it. We experience it through other people. We experience it through the planets transiting these gates. So, just kind of be aware, pay attention. It's so funny with my friends that I talk to all the time. It's like where you can really sense it or stories get told or something happens and you're like, this is so the theme of, I want to say the week. It's like approximately 6 days, but it's like, this is the theme of the week for sure. Which speaking on that, if you are somebody that's interested on Instagram, each week I pop on and kind of like give, the vibe of the treatment room, for people, especially, my aesthetics professionals, my injectors, my estheticians. But obviously other people can, massage therapists or, people that are definitely in that realm or the adjacent professions. But it's kind of fun because I'm like, here's the essential oil or the Spotify or like, the themes in your business that you want to like check out. So I forget to say it on here, but I've been doing that now since Capricorn season. So just evolving, right? Mutation, evolution. Here we go. Right. So anyway, if you got it, let me know. And of course, I'll be back soon with more. If the episode was of value to you in some way, would love it if you would leave me a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. It helps get this out. I'm also a sucker for words of affirmation. Can't help myself. I love it. And of course, if you want to learn more human design, I listed at the beginning all the ways. Golden Experience Guide course is out. My free guide, the $11 master classes, clear skin yoga nidras, like so many things coming. And again, can't stress enough, like hop on the Golden Experience Guide now because you've got those 2 weeks while it's at the intro price before it goes up. But so much cool stuff. Make sure you come join us April 30th for the golden hour. Come hang out. My esthetician community. I can't wait. I cannot wait for more people. I know quite a number of people that are going through the course. And I'm like, oh, I'm just like, so excited to have more people to geek out with because I live for that. Just always like me. I'm like, I need more people to know more in my community because I'm a line 4. So we can geek out together. Anyway, enough on that. Oh, get my free guide too. Don't forget about that. Follow me over on Instagram at Michaela McLean. All the links are in the show notes. Link in bio over there, MichaelaMcLean.com, goldenexperienceguide.com if you're interested in the course. But all the links are everywhere. And of course, until next time, have a beautiful day.